Hello. It's Brina, and I'm here today with another video. Uh, so let's see what's new. Really nothing. I work a lot. I don't really go out and do much just quite yet. I don't know when I'm posting this video. It could be in a couple weeks after I turn 21 or before then, who knows. Um, Probably next week, who knows. But yeah, so I'm not 21 yet. I am unfortunately still 20, but a couple more days. Um, and so like I really don't do anything. I just like go to work, go to the gym, go visit Sergio, go home. That's it. Sergio is a guy I trained at a different gas station. He was the first and so far the only person I've trained for my gas station shift. And I just got on really well with him. So I go and I visit him sometimes while he's working, and it's my nights off, just because it's really convenient. He's on the same schedule. He's a cool dude. We like the same things. We just sit and chill for a while, or like, and I'm there too if he needs help, because like there's only so much training you can do, especially at a gas station. Like our gas station only allows 2 days of training, sometimes 3 if you can swing it. And so there's so much you have to try to cram in 3 days that you always forget something. There's always one, or in my case, a lot, because I'm very forgetful, that you can forget to teach. And so I like to make sure I'm available for him whenever he needs it at work. Because I'm still learning stuff, and I hate having to tell customers, man, I don't know, like I haven't been trained on that yet, and like having to tell customer no kind of sucks, because then they get all mad and pissy with you. Yeah, I deal with it a lot, especially because my gas station sells alcohol, and it like it's a pain in the ass because all the liquor is behind the counter, and so like they have to talk to me in order to get the liquor. And I'm kind of a bitch sometimes, because a lot of the customers I see are already drunk, and technically by Arizona law, I can't sell liquor to them if they are visibly, noticeably intoxicated. Then legally I have to tell them no. And I don't know if you've ever tried telling a drunk person no before. It never goes well. Never. Like, okay, story time. So, I have this one regular, and he still comes in every night. And normally when he comes in, he's not like super drunk. He's like, I just went to the bar, had a couple beers, now I'm going home. I just want a 6-pack to go home with, kind of drunk. And he comes in this one night. It was like my 3rd week in. And this is after 2 weeks of getting to know him, because when I say like this man came in every night of my shift, he came in every single night and bought a 6-pack of beer. Not always the same pack of beer, but like always a 6-pack. And he always came in roughly around the same time every night. Like, it was a surprise if I didn't see him. And he comes in this one night, and I mean, this dude was hammered. His words were slurring. I really couldn't understand him. And then I rang up all the alcohol, and he asked for a pack of cigarettes, and his card kept getting declined. And like something happened where the transaction, he like paid half. There was something I needed his card back for in order to cancel the transaction, because I refused to sell to him. He was like very belligerent with me, and like he kept trying to tell me that I stole his card, which I never handle a customer's card unless they chose credit and it's over 30 or 25 and they have to sign for it, then I have to handle the card. Or if it's something I have to, or if it's like an older lady or an older gentleman or a blind person. Like if you have a reason for handing me your card, I will take it and swipe it. But any other time, I just tell them, okay, so you swipe in that pin pad right there, and then I do my thing, and then I tell them to put their pin in, yada, yada, yada. So I did not take his card at all. I had no reason to. I did not want to. I don't like touching other people's personal things that have like their identity attached to it. There's a story behind that. It's kind of sad, so if you want to hear it, I mean, just comment below, and I'll post a video about it if you guys want to know. Anyways, so he's like slurring. I could smell the liquor off of him. I mean, honestly, I am glad I backed out on the transaction, because if a cop had been out there and saw him get into his vehicle, I would have gotten fired that night. And so I took the liquor back and I was like, "Sir, the card is in your wallet. I knew exactly where he put it because I watched him put it in there. He just wouldn't let me point at it." And I was like, "Your card is in your wallet in the inside pocket." I was like, "I need it to cancel the transaction. If you're not going to give it to me, I have to call my manager." And it was before 2 o'clock, because we stopped selling alcohol at 2. So it was like 1:30 in the morning probably. And I was like, I don't want to have to call my manager because I'm stuck without a register. And I ended up actually being on the phone with my manager when I finally got him to turn around, find his card. And which fucking sucked because, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. That's good to know. I don't know. Mature content, I curse. There's no way I could censor myself. So yeah, kids, no watching. Nah, this is not for kids. So, like, I finally get his card back, and I swipe it, and it cancels the transaction. And I pull the beer away from him, and I kid you not, I didn't see him for like another week and a half. And then that week and a half came up, and he comes back one night, and he's a little tipsy. But this time I was very heavily watching him, and he was back to his normal self. So I don't know if he had a rough day or what, but oh my God, like he had 6 people behind him just, doing that normal, I'm waiting, like frustration just like pouring out of people. It was a rough night. And for it being like my 3rd week, it was rough. It was really, really rough. I totally just realized that my screen window is bent. And the funny thing is, I don't know how that happened. Because the last time I looked at it, it wasn't bent. That is something they're going to get me on when I move out. I'm going to have to try to fix it. Well, that sucks. The shit you fucking see, man. See? There's no way I could censor myself. There's no way. I'm talking to myself. I'm literally talking to myself. There's no way I can censor myself. This will be interesting. I hope I don't get shut down by YouTube because I curse too much. Like, I curse like a sailor. I lived with a male for most of my adolescent to preteen years. Like a bachelor male, mind you. And so I try to be ladylike, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. But speaking of, like, okay, so like we're just gonna name this gas station stories. Yeah, because I have a lot of gas station stories. So I worked on Friday, this last Friday. I worked midnight to 8 a.m. For the first 4 hours of my shift, I was completely in the freezer, which y'all are going to think I'm crazy and everything, but it's my OCD. I swear to you, I have nightmares about this. But our cooler at my store is a disaster. Not compared to the store Sergio works at, but my store, it's a disaster zone. Sergio's store is a hurricane. But my cooler, I have nightmares about sometimes. And I've been telling my bosses for about as long as I've been working for my gas station, which is like about 2 months now, 2.5 months. I've been telling them I want one shift a week. I just want to go in there. I want to spend all 8 hours in the cooler stocking and organizing and everything. And they finally did it. I finally got put on that schedule. So I spent 4 hours in the cooler, which was really awesome. Pretty sure they got me dancing on camera because I listened to my music and I just kind of get in a OCD infused zone and I just went with it. And so like I danced to like crazy music and I'm pretty sure they caught me on the camera. And then I spent the last 4 hours doing truck. And right as I clock out, the soda machine broke down. And if you watched my first video, I mentioned I am a Dr. Pepper fanatic. I've been drinking Dr. Pepper since I was 6 years old. Dr. Pepper is my lifeline. It's my lifeline. And if I don't get it, like I have a bad day, I get headaches, and like I'm just not the same person if I can't get my Fountain Dr. Pepper. And it sounds so bad. And like I should stop the habit, but I can't. And you know what? I will love it forever and I will drink it forever and I don't care. I'm still beautiful. But so the soda machine breaks down. So I don't get to get my Dr. Pepper after work, which is my normal thing to do. Like I have cups upon cups of Dr. Pepper around my room because I get a Dr. Pepper before I leave work and I'll drink it. I stay up anywhere between like 2 to 3, sometimes 4 hours after getting off work before I pass out. I'll go to the gym, and so like I don't drink the Dr. Pepper at the gym because like that's soda while you're working out. No. So I get a water bottle and I drink water while I work out, which is good, you know, because water's healthy. Thank God. And then I'll go home and then I'll be drinking my Dr. Pepper. Well, after the gym, normally I pass out within an hour or two because I'm just so tired. Because so much exercise. Like, I just worked 8 hours and then I went to the gym for 2. Like, So, yeah. So, it was out. And I was really upset because Friday, Saturday morning was my cheat day. I did not want to go to the gym on Saturday. I had made up my mind like 2 nights earlier that I was like, yeah, Saturday, no gym. And I couldn't get a Dr. Pepper. And I was so tired when I got off that I didn't want to go to Orangewood and get that Dr. Pepper. And which actually it wouldn't have worked because Orangewood's was out too. Well, so I went home and I passed out for a couple hours, got up, I went back to work and to see if it was open. And it wasn't. Well, work was open, but the fountain pops weren't. And I cried on the inside a little bit, dealt with it, went home, did a couple things, got up. I took like a 2 hour nap between 8 and 10 p.m., got up and went and hung out with Sergio at Orangewood. And he, lo and behold, when I pull up, and I've told him, warn me when your Dr. Pepper is out. Warn me when I can't get Dr. Pepper. Because, like, I will then go to, like, 7-Eleven, or I'd go to, like, I can't think of any other gas stations. Why? Something that's not my gas station. And I'll get a Dr. Pepper. Or I'll even go through a fucking drive-through just to get my Dr. Pepper. And I've told him, warn me. Just warn me. And he still doesn't. But he'll learn. But his Dr. Pepper machine, his fountain pop machine was out as well. So I ended up having to buy 2 bottles of Mountain Dew. Because, like, okay, I said earlier, their cooler looks like a hurricane went through it. And they literally have nothing stocked. Like, everybody that works there absolutely hates their job, except for Sergio. But because Sergio works the night shift like I do, you are the only person on. And now they do close between certain hours, but it's only for 2 hours. And there's a lot of other stuff that they have to do before they could even go into the cooler and do anything with that, let alone stock the whole cooler, which is like 10 doors of six shelves-ish, and like 8 spots across. Like, I mean, that's a lot of things to try and fill in a short 2-hour time span with all the other stuff you have to do. And so, like, Sergio can't do it. So I kid you not, I get in there and Sergio tells me, he's like, dude, they literally had 2 people scheduled today, and they came in and worked 6 hours, both of them, in the cooler. And I can't even express it when I say this, but they literally did absolutely nothing. The cooler was empty. I went back there to get me my Mountain Dew because they didn't have bottled Dr. Pepper. They had bottled Diet Dr. Pepper, which is disgusting. But they didn't even have bottled Dr. Pepper. But, like, I went back there to get my Mountain Dew. And, as I'm back there, people are opening up the cooler door and talking to me because they can see me because there's nothing in the freaking spots. Like, they can just look in and see me back there. So they were asking me to grab them stuff, which technically, I'm not even supposed to be back there because I'm not on the clock, but I needed something. And so, like, fuck them. I don't care. I want it. I paid for it. And so, like, I had to grab people some stuff just because, like, it wasn't filled. And so, like, I called her this morning and I was like, so, I work about 32 hours at my store, and because we're sister stores, I know I can work at your store, and my boss has even told me it's okay. And, I would like to, on my days off, when I come and hang out with Sergio, I'd like to clock in for like 2 hours and 2 to 3 hours a week. And I'd like to just be in your cooler and fill it and stock it and organize it, because if anything gave me nightmares, that cooler did. It's a disaster zone in there. It's a very big disaster zone. Um, but yeah, so that's the whole cooler debacle. My whole Dr. Pepper debacle. One more final story, and then I'll say goodbye for the day. So one of the stories that pops out about working out at my gas station is that, oh, don't lose it. It's all the different types of people I see. And all the robberies that happen. So when I got hired, the very first thing my boss says to me, she goes, Brina, now I know you've worked overnights before, but that was back when you were living in North Dakota in a small town and crime rate's not super high or anything. And she looked at me and she goes, so I have to tell you this because apparently my last girl didn't know this. And she goes, you will get robbed. It happens. You just let it happen. You sit down, you let them take whatever it is they want to take, and then once they leave, you call the cops, you call me, and you press the panic button. And I looked at her, and I was like, you don't need to tell me this. Like, I'm fine. It's gonna be okay. Like, I'm expecting it. I can handle well under pressure. Like, that's one thing all my bosses say I'm really good at is I'm very good at under pressure. Very good under pressure. And I looked at her and I was like, okay. And she's like, well, apparently I didn't warn the last girl well enough. And that she got like, not held up, but this guy came behind the counter and stole a couple packs of cigarettes. And it's not like he got up in her face, and it's not like he hit her or physically touched her. He didn't even get near her. He just went behind the counter, grabbed a couple cigarettes and ran out the door. And she got so freaked out. She quit the next day. I was like, that, not me. I don't scare that easily. Oh my god. Like, I am used to overnight serving. Back home, I used to overnight serve for this place called Perkins. For everybody out there that does not live in the Midwest, Perkins is a lot like Denny's. It's 24 hours, it's breakfast, it's a lot like Denny's. It's just Midwesternized. And I worked as the overnight server. So basically, it was just me and a cook all night long from 11, sometimes 10 to 6 a.m. And I mean, I have dealt with my fair share of crazies, drunk people. I've called the cops on so many people. Like, I'm not afraid of people. Like, the worst that they can do is hurt me. And like, that sounds weird. That's not what I mean. The worst that they could do really isn't the worst. You know, like, you can do a lot more damage to yourself than what other people can do if you let them. And so like, I don't know if that made sense. I'm sorry. I words don't like to come out in the correct order. But like, I don't know. So I'm very good at handling people. I had to learn from an early age how to handle drunk people. And so like, I don't know, I guess that's made me better for my type of work, probably. But, excuse me, Dr. Pepper. But yeah, so like, the very first robbery I had, this fucking kid is such a dumbass. So he comes in and buys gas with his card, goes out, fills gas, right? So he's outside filling gas, and one of my morning regulars, whose daughter actually works with me, she comes in, says good morning. I tell her good morning, and I said, I'll be right back. I had to go get coffee cups. Now, mind you, I am 5'3". Our coffee cups are like on the top shelf of the gas station in the back. And so like I have to climb up on a 4-stool step ladder and get on like the 4th step just to get to these cup. So like it'll take me a minute to get back down because I'm also terrified of heights. So like I'm like shaking as I'm backing down the steps. So it takes me a minute to get up and down those 4 steps. And as I'm up there and I'm reaching still to grab cups and I'm pulling them out when my normal morning regular, she comes in the back and she goes, "Hey hun, you just got robbed." What? Really? I just got robbed. And I wasn't even here to witness it. Like, literally, I was more upset that I didn't witness it than I was about anything else about it. Like, because it was my first robbery. Like, everybody had, not like hyping me up, but like, everybody was warning me, be careful, you gotta watch out for these kind of people and these kind of people and these kind of people. All because, like, I lived in North Dakota. They all think I don't know what dumb people do. I don't know. But, so because of all these warnings, I was like, oh, I wonder what my first robbery is gonna be like. And, of course, my first robbery, and I don't even get to witness it. But the kid that went and bought gas with his card, mind you, he came back inside, saw that I wasn't at the counter, ran behind the counter, and stole a Juul starter pod kit. Like, so it had the Juul and like 2 flavors of the pods in it, and he stole that. And I was more flabbergasted by the fact that this kid, this dumbass, came in and stole something behind the counter, because like the cops won't come if you don't go behind the counter. Like, if you stay out in the lobby, like in the items area, the cops won't come. Like, they won't come because it's not as necessary. Or if it's a big beer run. But like, it's not necessary at all for the cop to come unless they come behind the counter or steal more than like $35 or $40 worth of beer. And sorry, Dr. Pepper break. And yeah. So it was very interesting, and I was able to get a full description of his car other than his license plate. Because at the time, I didn't know this, but in Arizona, you don't have to have a front license plate. And so, like, I thought, oh, the cops are going to be able to find him easy. He doesn't have a front license plate. Nah. But, we had his credit card. I went and I reprinted the receipt that had the last 4 of his credit card on it. Yeah. God, it was hilarious. And that's the story of the very first time I got robbed. I didn't even get to witness it. I have more stories. I have a couple more robbery stories. I have a couple more drunk stories. Not me being drunk. People trying to get me to sell alcohol to them. A policy at my gas station is your ID has to be horizontal in order for us to sell liquor to you. like any kind of alcohol to you. If it's vertical, I have to refuse service. Like I have to take the alcohol away and refuse you, because if I swipe their ID and it accepts it even though they're 21, if they look back on the cameras, like my market manager or anybody looks back on the cameras and sees that it's a vertical ID, I'll get fired. Because that's a policy. So I have a couple stories about a couple freshly 21-year-olds that get pissed at me because they're within the 30-day limit, and like they don't know the law very well. So I have a couple stories of those. I have a couple regular stories, like I call them my regulars. They're my morning regulars. I have a couple evening regulars that are really cool and pretty memorable. I've got a lot of stories from work. I meet a lot of interesting people. So if you want to know more about it, comment below. Now, this time I'm going to do a proper ending. The last video, my roommates came home, and I hadn't exactly told them I started a YouTube channel. So I didn't want them like knocking on the door in the middle of my YouTube channel, because I also don't know how to edit yet. Or anything like that. Like, this is all being done on my phone. I actually don't have internet either right now, but hopefully that will all change very soon. I'm about to have a very full house. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I have 2 roommates currently. They sleep in the living room, and I'm about to get another one that's about to share my room with me. So my life is about to get super hectic, super crazy, very interesting, because this new roommate, I've known her since we were 8 years old. We grew up together when I was living with my dad in Mobridge, South Dakota. It's a small ass town of 2,500 people in the wintertime. Probably closer to 4,000 in the summertime, just because of snowbirds. And like this girl knows stories of me. It's crazy. It's crazy. So she'll be guest starring in a couple videos, because she will be my roommate and she'll have to deal with me making videos and being quiet. So might as well put her in the videos as well. Yeah, so let's see. Why don't we try to put a goal? How about we do 10 likes by next week? So like today is, oh fuck, I don't even know what day it is. That's not telling me the day. Okay, so today is March 12th. So Tuesday, March 12th. So let's say 10 likes by next Tuesday. I've got a birthday trip coming up. I don't remember if I mentioned it in my first video. I will be going to Vegas. I will be in Vegas March 28th through the 2nd. I have a couple things I'm going to be doing. A lot of that is including like the Zach Bagans ghost museum. Why? Focus. Okay. I can't believe that really worked. But that'd be like Zach Bagans haunted museum. I want to go to the Mob Museum. Of course, I'm going to be going to casinos and bars. You might even find me at a strip club just to say I went. Let's see what else. I really don't even know, because like I'm also going with my dad, so he has a lot of things planned out for me, because it's his birthday present to me. And so not exactly sure what my whole itinerary is, but I'm super excited. I will try to take lots of videos, lots of pictures. I'm actually going to make an Instagram account, so eventually I will be tagging that on my videos, and I don't know if I can combine my channel. I'm gonna learn a lot about being a YouTuber over the next couple weeks. So yeah, let's get to 10 likes by next Tuesday, which I couldn't tell you what. Next Tuesday is my birthday. So let's say we get 10 likes by my 21st birthday. How about that? I can't believe I didn't even realize the date. But yeah, so again, I'm Brina C, and it was very wonderful talking with you guys today. Leave some comments below on what you want me to talk about. I have a lot of experience in a lot of different things. I have dealt with drugs in my past, not me doing it, but people around me. I've dealt with witnessing a lot of things. I'm very well versatile. I have a crap ton of stories. I can talk about almost getting caught by the cops a couple times. I'm a pot smoker. I love marijuana. I'm very, very head. It was my phone. So back home, it's super illegal. And so I actually have gotten away. Let's see, I got pulled over in 2018. I got pulled over 6 times in that year. And 2017, I got pulled over 6 times in 2018, and I've had cops come up to my window like 4 times. And then in 2017, I got pulled over 8 times as well. And each of those times were, well, not each of them, a couple of the times were for actual, like, legit reasons, like I just fucked up. But most of them are due to the fact that I'm high and I'm driving around, or I am sitting in a park at 2 a.m. because I'm on the night schedule getting high with my best friend. I have a clean record. Nothing's on my record. I've never gotten in trouble for it. I've never been to jail. Like, I've never done any of that. And so I have a lot of stories of how I've gotten away with it. Also, being a server, I have a lot of serving stories. So many stories. So yeah, so just comment below. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want to see. Like, I do a lot of different things. There's a lot of things I want to start doing. There's a lot of things I am going to start doing. Honestly, I'd like your feedback, because I'll bounce right off of it. If you think I'm good at something, or if you feel like there's something you think I should talk about, or anything in general, leave it below. You know, who knows? I might do a whole video on it. But yeah, so my name is Brina C, and it was very wonderful talking with you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and everybody be safe out there. You never know what could happen. Just enjoy every last minute.